So I got a comment on a recent video, and I thought I'd actually make a video about it because this is such a common misconception with the BMW i3. And I hear this all the time, and I finally thought, you know what, it's time to put an end to the misinformation. It's time to put an end to the fake news and actually drop some facts so that we can get things right on here. I had a gentleman that commented on my BMW i3 video, the very first video, and he told me that his 2021 Toyota Camry, which is like an SELE base model 4-cylinder, two-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, not hybrid, he told me that his gasoline 2021 Camry is cheaper than my BMW i3. Well, I just kind of wanted to show you guys, like, that video, first video of the BMW i3, hit #1 on my channel. Did really well, really well. Now, I'm going to pull up the comment because I've got some really important numbers in the comment section here that I want you guys to see and hear. So I'm going to read, it's long, okay? So just bear with me. I actually took a lot of time out of my day to do some research and do a little bit of very simple basic mathematics to get this information for him and for you guys. Now, a lot of people were saying that I put him in his place and I smoked him, and it's like that. That's not my intention. My intention was simply to clarify misinformation. I wanted to bring some factual information to this guy's life because he's smoking something if he believes this is true. So his comment was very simple. With my 2021 Camry getting 39 to 42 miles a gallon, my gas car is cheaper. Do you believe that? I mean, you know what my answer is, but go ahead, drop a comment below. Do you think a 2021 Toyota Camry that gets 42 miles a gallon is cheaper than my BMW i3? All right, you got your comments. Now, here's my response. And like I said, I took a lot of time to figure this out. And then I went back and looked and realized my numbers were actually slightly off. We'll explain more about that later. I said, you are fooling yourself, but you're not fooling me. I'm a car guy, so you can't confuse me with fake numbers. Number one, your Camry does not get 42 miles a gallon. Come on, guys. It doesn't get 42 miles a gallon. Nice try, though. I looked it up, and the Camry, the base model Camry, gets 28 miles a gallon in the city, which is very good, by the way. That's actually quite impressive. And 39 on the highway, not 42. The numbers matter, guys. The numbers matter. Let's keep it real, okay? 39 on the highway. And remember, you are not going to get 39 miles a gallon all the time. Nobody drives 100% highway. You have to drive in the city from time to time. So even on your best day, you will not manage a consistent 39, or as he puts it, 42 miles a gallon. It's not even possible. The car doesn't even get 42 miles a gallon. But anyway, let's just leave that alone for now. A 2021 Camry, I looked this up, used is around $20,000. That's important. That's a very important number. Whereas my BMW was $6,000. Next, my i3 miles per gallon is far superior thanks to the EV aspect. Your best miles per gallon is 39, and you are not getting 39 regularly. Mine is 117. You can look it up for yourself. It's no joke. It is 117 mpg. Now, for you to drive 115 miles, and I say 115, that's important because that's what I got on my last charge. My last full charge got me 115 miles. Will cost you at best 115 miles divided by 39 miles a gallon equals 2.94 gallons of gas multiplied by the average cost of gasoline at $2.50 a gallon for regular gas comes out to $7.35 for his Camry at 39 miles a gallon constant, which is not going to happen. It would cost him $7.35 to drive 115 miles. Whereas for me, 115 miles cost me $4.50, except that's not true. I had to look into my charger. Electricity at my other house, which is where I primarily charge, is 0.119 cents a gallon. Call it 12, or a gallon. Call it 12 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay, that's important. The car has like a 30-something kilowatt hour battery, but my app for my home charger keeps track of what the actual charge is and how much I actually spend. I actually spent $3.80 filling up the car from empty. I mean, you're really being petty, but I want to make sure the numbers are accurate. Okay, and that was from dead empty to full. My battery pack was empty, and I was running on gasoline at the time. The battery was completely depleted. So, if I were to charge it at this house instead of my other house, it's actually free. I am on a locked-in plan here. The electricity does not change month to month, year to year. It stays the same. So I could pull the car down here, plug it in the garage, and it would literally cost me nothing extra. I could actually drive the car for free if I charge down here. But we're going to keep it realistic. Most people don't have that option. So let's keep it real. So let's look at the real numbers then. You will pay $18,000 and up for a 2021 Toyota Camry that on its best run in perfect conditions will cost $7.35 to drive 115 miles. My BMW cost $6,000 and cost me $4.50, which we found out is $3.80 to drive the same 115 miles on its worst day. That was when I had to use the heater. It was cold out, so that's not bad. Currently, just to give you some updates here, currently that BMW, I'm able to get over 130 miles on a charged battery if I limit how much I use the AC, which it's nice. It's 76 degrees. You can crack a window. Feels just fine. If you don't need to use the heater, I can get over 130 miles of range just from the battery, plus another 100 miles of range from the range extender. So my BMW cost $6,000 and cost me $3.80 to drive 150 miles on its worst day, 115 miles on its worst day. Now, let's factor in your base model Camry averages not 39 miles a gallon, but realistically from the EPA, it actually runs 32 miles a gallon average. If you use the EPA numbers, we get 115 miles divided by 32 miles a gallon equals 3.59 gallons of gas, multiplied by $2.50 a gallon equals $8.98. You're talking about $9 to drive 115 miles to my $3.80. It's literally more than double the cost to drive your Camry while paying 3 times more for your Camry than I paid for my BMW i3. But there's a caveat here, right? We're talking about electric versus gas. But remember, the BMW i3 also has a gasoline engine. I hesitate to call it an engine, but technically it is an engine. It's a scooter engine. It's a 2-cylinder. It's 0.6 liters. It's a teeny tiny little engine. But let's look at numbers to numbers, apples to apples on gasoline, all right? Now, what about if I need to use my range extender? That changes things, right? No, it doesn't. The miles per gallon, this is funny, guys. On the Rex, 38 to 40 miles a gallon. 38 to 40. So it's still better. It's still better than the Camry. Even when I need to use the gas engine to charge the batteries, it's still better. It's still better. And the best part of the range extender is it does not operate like a traditional car's engine. Okay? A typical car has fluctuating fuel economy. The reason for that is because you could be driving slow. You may be driving like a grandma one day. Next day, you may just, have a wild hair and you're smashing everywhere, ripping the tires off, whatever. You got a heavy foot, whatever the case may be. Fuel economy is going to vary greatly depending on how you drive. The range extender is not like that because on a traditional car, the engine powers the wheels. Basically, it goes from the engine to the transmission, to the differential, to the wheels. None of that happens with the range-extended BMW. The electric motor is driven by the battery, and the battery alone. The gasoline engine never powers the rear wheels on the BMW i3. That engine is strictly a generator. It is literally the equivalent of throwing a portable generator in the back of your car and turning it on and plugging it in. All that generator does is produce electricity to charge the battery. The battery powers the motor powers the wheels. That's a big misconception a lot of people have. So the fuel economy on the Rex does not change. You're going to get around 38 to 40 miles a gallon consistently. And here's another thing. People think that if you're using the range extender and you run out of battery, your speed limit is suddenly magically limited to like 35 miles an hour. You can't drive. It's not true. I drove my i3 for 3 days with no battery, strictly on the gasoline Rex engine. I was able to drive full speed, 70 miles an hour on the highway. No problems. Headlights, heated seats, I had the heater on. So while I appreciate the gentleman's comment, he's absolutely 100% wrong about everything. Your 2021 Camry costs 3 times more than my BMW, and it costs you more than double to drive it. And even if I drive on gas alone and don't use the battery, technically, I don't charge. You know what I mean? I'm not paying for electricity. I don't charge it up. I still get better fuel economy than you, so I'm still saving money, and you still paid 3 times more for your Toyota Camry. So while I'm not dissing on the guy or his choice of cars, you know, a Toyota Camry is a great car. My mom actually drives a Toyota Corolla. You know, I've got no problem with Toyotas. I love cars in general. But what I don't love is people that come out and they make bold statements that they can't back up because they don't have factual information to support their claims. So let's clear up another misconception with the car, and that is when you run out of battery and the Rex has to kick in to charge the battery, it slows you down to 35 miles an hour. I don't know where that came from. Somebody said that they read that somewhere. It was another comment. And I had to respectfully tell the guy, that's totally wrong. I've been driving my BMW i3 for 3 days on no battery, just because I wanted to see what it would do. I wanted to see how it would go, because I intend to try to take that car up to Indiana and back with Monkey Wrench Mike. And my intention is, unlike my trip to California, where I had to charge it constantly, I want to see if I could drive it without charging it. And I don't know for sure if that's even possible. You're talking about a trip that's something like 650 miles with 130-ish miles of initial range, and then the Rex is going to kick in. And we're talking about the rest of the trip, 500 miles-ish, without charging the car. I honestly don't know how that's going to go. That might be something we end up on the side of the road. But just in preparation for this trip, I drove it for 3 days without any juice in the battery at all, only running on the range extender. And I'm here to tell you, I had no problems. None. I was able to go 70 miles an hour, which is the speed limit out here. 70 miles an hour, radio blasting, heated seats. Occasionally I turn the heat on, I turn it off. I turn it on, turn it off. The heater will affect range. Okay, absolutely. It's an electric car after all. Even with the gas engine, it's still an electric car. So you have to be a little more mindful. Air conditioning is not such a big deal, but heat really will affect your range. So what I like to do is I use the seat heaters. And if it gets too cold and I'm not comfortable with the seat heaters, then I'll kick on the heater at the lowest heater setting that I'm comfortable with. And then when I warm up, I turn it off to try to conserve some energy. Now, I know that's not optimal. Not everybody would want to do that. You don't have to do that. I'm just telling you, it will affect your range if you don't. But driving the way I drive and using the car the way I do, it's getting me 130 miles, in fact, a little better than 130 miles from the battery alone, and about another 100 miles or so from the range extender. And no, it does not mysteriously cut off and slow you down to 35 miles an hour. That doesn't happen. Unless you're going, I don't know, maybe 75, 80 miles an hour, and maybe you've got the heater on, and you got the heated seats on, and the headlights, and your brights. You know, if you're running everything in the car simultaneously, you're really dragging it down, and you're going 75, 80 miles an hour, yes. Maybe then, if you drag too much juice out of the battery and it can't regenerate enough, yes, it will cut your speed down. I think it limits you at its worst to 55 miles an hour until it can regen enough of that battery back. So yes, it is a car that you have to be conscious about how you use it. You can't just turn everything on and hit the road and expect everything to work. It is something that requires a little bit of thought, and that's something that most people don't want. Most people do not want to buy a car and have to think about driving it. They want to be able to just use it and not have to think about it. And I completely understand that. Like I said before, I'm not here to sell you a car. I'm not trying to sell you a BMW i3. I'm trying to make sure you have the facts so that you know more about it, because there are people out there that are interested in getting one, but they don't want to because they heard, somebody said, they read something. I'm here to just give you the facts. And if you want to go out and buy one, go out and buy one. You guys think that I'm getting a kickback from BMW if you buy a car? I get nothing. It doesn't benefit me one way or another if you buy a BMW i3 or not. But if you're interested in one, I want to make sure you have the right facts about it, good and bad. And the bad is really, you do have to kind of think a little bit more, but we're going to do a road trip in this car. Monkey Wrench Mike said he's down to do it, and we're going to find out, can you actually drive this car on a long road trip and never charge it? Or will we find ourselves on the side of the road needing to get a tow to a charger so we can continue our trip? I don't know, but I think it's going to be a really fun video. So I hope you guys are excited for it. Stay tuned. I don't know when it's going to come out. We haven't scheduled dates to actually do the trip yet. It's a big deal. It's going to take us a few days, a day to get there, I assume, and then a day to get back. And we've got to rest a little bit and enjoy the time up there as well. So listen, if you're excited about it and you enjoy this type of content, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Consider subscribing to this channel if you're not currently subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing y'all again very soon in the next one.